Looks like we are live on YouTube. Let me just check to make sure that everything is okay. It's only the second time I've gone live on this channel, but let's see. Yep, we're there. We are there. Just check to make sure that. Boom! We are in the building. We are live on YouTube, on Bears Yard. What's up, people? This your boy Vipe. I am the host of Bears Yard, and I had to go live tonight because it's Friday night. And not only is it Friday night, we have a game in 48 hours versus the San Francisco 49ers. So I want to come on here and be live with you all for a few minutes just to talk about my predictions, what I think will happen, everything that's going on in and around the Bears lately, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to put a tweet out here on my other Twitter real quick just to let the people know that we are live. And then we can go ahead and proceed on the YouTube. Let's see. This is great, man. It's so cool to have like a channel where I could just come in here and talk Chicago Bear football. All right, so we got a game this Sunday. All the crazy stuff that has happened here with the Bears in the last 7 days. But we have a football game to play on Sunday afternoon in California versus the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Shanahan coaching royalty is waiting for us. But fortunately for us, we are kind of catching the 49ers in a down period because their team is completely decimated with injury. They haven't quite lived up to expectations this year. And the Bears are catching them at a very good time, especially for a team that is having its first game with its new interim head coach, Thomas Brown. But the interesting thing about the 49ers is that as of right now, Trent Williams, their all-pro left tackle, unavailable. He's out this Sunday. Nick Bosa, their elite pass rusher, doubtful for Sunday. We know that Christian McCaffrey is on IR. He's done for the year practically. Their backup running back, Jordan Mason, is also out for this game. So they are all the way down to their third string or fourth string running back, rookie Isaac Guerendo. So we got to go against a rookie running back this week. Now, to be clear, it doesn't seem like who's running the ball in Kyle Shanahan's offense, they still find a way to get blocking and get good rushing yardage. But, I mean, they're down to their third string rookie running back, okay? So if the Bears can't handle a rookie running back, then we got bigger problems. But either way, with the 49ers being as decimated as they are, the Bears have a good chance to go in there and pull the upset. Now, it's so funny, man. Before all the turmoil started and we kind of went downhill with the 6 losses in a row, I don't know if I would have considered this an upset, especially with the way the 49ers are, because I kind of feel like the Bears have as much or maybe a little bit more talent on our roster than the 49ers do. I mean, especially right now, we definitely have more talent than the 49ers do. Brock Purdy, Caleb Williams, give me Caleb Williams every day, okay? You want to talk about our defensive secondary versus their defensive secondary? I'll take the Bears secondary, even though we are kind of banged up. We don't have Jaquan Brisker in there, so that's kind of unfortunate. But the Bears have a lot of talent, and I feel like we match up very well with the 49ers, especially this week with the fact that they are hurting a lot, and we're hurting too, but not nearly as badly as the 49ers are hurting. So I like that. As it goes for our injury report, if I can find the actual report here, I will tell you guys everybody who is going to be allegedly in or out this week for our Chicago Bears. Right off the top of my head, I know that DeAndre Swift and DJ Moore are both going to play. They were questionable on the injury report, but they are both said to be playing this week, even though they are questionable. So that is good. I'm still trying to scroll through and find his injury report. So give me a second here. I think we have like 3 or 4 people that are out this week. I believe that Roschon Johnson is out with the concussion. He's still in concussion protocol. Also, I believe that there's a couple more guys that we have that are out. I think Elijah Higson's out this week as well. And I believe there was one more name on the list who is not playing. I think Ryan Bates is out too. So I think those are the 3 that are out this week. So let me just double check to be sure. But yeah, I do believe Hicks, Johnson, and Bates are all out this week. And like I said, DJ Moore and DeAndre Swift are questionable, but they are both expected to play on Sunday. Keenan Allen was a full go at practice, so we expect him to play. And I think there was a couple other names on there that were full at practice today, and they're going to be playing. And why can I not find the Bears injury report? Oh, man. See, I should have been ready for this before the stream started. But of course, now I'm endlessly looking for it on the Twitters, and I can't find it. And there it is. So, finally, I found it. All right, so I was correct. Ryan Bates, Elijah Hicks, Roschon Johnson are all out. They're not playing this week. Bates is out with a concussion. Roschon Johnson is also out with a concussion. And Elijah Hicks is out with an ankle injury. DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift are both questionable, but they will play. Keenan Allen was a full participant today. Kevin Byard was a full participant today. Mercedes Lewis was a full participant as well as Coleman Shelton and Darnell Wright. All full participants and ready for action. So all of those guys who were full today will play in the game unless something goes wrong. They are all expected to play on Sunday in San Francisco versus the 49ers. So we definitely like that and appreciate that. Excuse me. But obviously, the big storyline for this particular football game is that this will be the first game for the Chicago Bears with new interim head coach Thomas Brown. Now, we all know the story by now. We signed him on at the beginning of the summer as our passing game coordinator. 9 weeks into the season, we fired Shane Waldron and elevated Thomas Brown from passing game coordinator to offensive coordinator. So he's been the offensive coordinator for the past 3 weeks. And then obviously a week ago today, the Bears did something that they had not done in their previous 100 years of existence. They fired Matt Eberflus in season. And after they fired Matt Eberflus, they promoted Thomas Brown, who was serving as the offensive coordinator, to interim head coach. So in the span of 17 days, Thomas Brown has been promoted twice within the Bears organization, and he is now the acting interim head coach for your Chicago Bears as we roll into San Francisco to play the 49ers on Sunday afternoon. I believe game time is 3:25 p.m. Central. So definitely set your clock and get ready for that, because obviously with the game being on the West Coast, it's going to be a late afternoon game because obviously we have a 2-hour time difference from San Francisco. So you got to take that into. Actually, I'm not thinking now. Now I believe it's 3 hours. I believe there's a 3-hour difference now since daylight saving time or whatever. 2 or 3 hour difference. I think it might be two. I'm not sure. Actually, no, I think it's still 2. We have a 2-hour time difference from San Francisco, so that's why the game's going to be at 3:25 Central Time, and that is what that is. But it is Thomas Brown's first game, so everybody wants to know, what can we expect from Thomas Brown in his first game as head coach for the Chicago Bears? Well, if you listen to him in the press conferences this week, the man is all about physicality and violence. The man literally said that football is a violent game and rewards those who play it violently. You know, the violence and physicality is something that the Bears have been lacking for a few years now. I don't really think that they had that under Matt Eberflus per se. Not to say that they were complete wimps under Eberflus, but the Bears were kind of soft under Matt Eberflus, right? They were kind of soft. I mean, hell, the way he called his game was very soft. How many times did we run a soft zone? I mean, hell, we gave the Commanders a free 13 yards before they bombed the Hail Mary to beat us at the last second in that Commanders game. So physicality and violence hasn't really been attributed to the team for a while now. So it's very refreshing and reinvigorating when Thomas Brown gets off the bus preaching violence and physicality. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. It sounds like our players are here for it, and they are ready for it. And it should be a new brand of Bear football on Sunday afternoon, and I am so excited. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, people. I am rooting for Thomas Brown. I'm rooting for him hard. I hope that he does something that will get him a good position or give him a good chance to grab the interim or take the interim head coach tag off. Get rid of it. Just make that man the head coach. But obviously, we can't jump into the future. We don't know how he's going to perform these next 5 games, but I have a good idea because I feel like he's going to be a very good coach, and I think he's going to get a few wins. I think he'll have more wins than losses. I'm hoping he goes 5-0, so he leaves no doubt. Because do you know what happens if Tommy Brown goes 5-0 over the next 5 games? He will beat 3 playoff teams at the very minimum. 3 playoff teams, maybe 4. I don't know how Seattle's doing, but he's going to beat 3 playoff teams because he would have beaten Detroit, Green Bay, and Minnesota all in our division. So not only will he have beaten the entire division if he goes 5-0, he will have beaten 3 playoff teams because they're all going to the playoffs. And then you have San Francisco, who may or may not go to the playoffs. We don't know. They're slumping, but they still have a chance to get in. And then the Seahawks, Seattle. I don't know what their record is. I think they're doing okay-ish, but they're a solid team. So if he goes 5-0, he will have beat at least 3 playoff teams, maybe 5, depending on how San Francisco and Seattle do. So that's going to be crazy by itself. But then to have the Bears just go on a 5-game winning streak to show that they have recovered from the pain and suffering that was Matt Eberflus will be something amazing. Now, it doesn't really take much to be better than Matt Eberflus. Okay. It's not a very high bar. I know. It's not a very high bar. But, I mean, I think we are all starving in Chicago for just a little bit of competency. And I believe that at the very minimum, we're going to get a high level of competent football from Tommy Brown and the Bears on Sunday afternoon. And I'm here for it. I'm excited for it. I am ready for some competent football because had we been playing competent football, we would have a lot more wins than losses right now. There's way too much talent on this team to be 4-8. Are you kidding me right now? How do you lose to the Indianapolis Colts? How do you lose to the Washington Commanders on a Hail Mary? How do you lose to the Patriots? They're terrible. How do you lose to the Packers because you got a field goal block? How do you lose to the Vikings when you come back and take them into overtime? And you got the ball first in overtime? How do you lose to the Detroit Lions when you have the ball in their territory with over 40 seconds left and you don't even get off a field goal? How? How much incompetence do you need? I think we have had our fill of incompetence for the rest of the season. I think we have overloaded. We've had more than enough. And it is now time to rise up and let the whole league take notice that the Bears ain't playing no more. We got Tommy Brown. We got a leader of men in the building. The whole buzz phrase that they've been using since Eberflus was fired is, we want a leader of men. Well, guess what? In my opinion, Tommy Brown is a leader of men. And Tommy Brown is going to lead our men out there to San Francisco and whip the 49ers ass. That's what's about to happen out here, I'm telling you. I think the Bears are going to stomp a mud hole in the 49ers just because they're going to be reinvigorated by the interim head coach bump is what people have been calling it. And the Bears are going to win. What will the score be, you say, Vipe? Well, I believe the Bears will win this game by a score of 31-17. So the Bears will win by 2 scores. And I mean, if we really play our best ball, we could probably blow them out by 3 scores. But I'm not going to get too greedy with it. But I do believe we win 31-17 because I feel like we're just that much better than them right now, especially with the way that they've been injury decimated. We are just that much better. We should be able to beat them by at least 2 scores because we're better than them and we're healthier than them. So that's how I feel. 31-17 Bears. That's what I'm talking about. Now, how do we get that done is the question, right? How do we get that done? I think first and foremost, the Bears will need to stop the run, which shouldn't be too hard given the fact, as I alluded to earlier, that we're going against their third-string rookie running back, okay? Now, I realize that Kyle Shanahan is a scheming genius, and even I could have good running lanes in his offense. But listen, man, one of the other changes that occurred because of Matt Eberflus getting fired is that now the defense is being called by Eric Washington. And I don't know how many of y'all remember, but in the preseason this year, it was Eric Washington calling the defensive plays. It was not Matt Eberflus. He let Eric Washington do that. And I don't know if y'all remember what happened in the Cincinnati Bengal game this preseason, but Eric Washington had Cal Gordon killing backup quarterbacks. Okay, do y'all remember that? I remember that. Okay. He sent Cal Gordon on a quarter blitz in a preseason game and blew up Cincinnati's backup quarterback. That was craziness. So if he is that aggressive in preseason, I can only imagine what Eric Washington is going to bring on Sunday afternoon now that he is the one calling the plays. Hopefully, for the love of all things football, we can bring some more attacking defense to the game. More blitzes, more corner blitzes, safety blitzes, extra man front. None of this four-man front stuff that doesn't work. Our defensive line is not good enough to get home to the quarterback with only 4 dudes. We've been doing that all year long to little success or no success. So now that Eric Washington is the defensive coordinator who is actually calling the plays, hopefully he could bring a little bit more pressure, bring some more blitzes, and get Brock Purdy comfortable, because the other part of the 49ers that's happening is that Brock Purdy is playing banged up. He is not the healthiest. He's been dealing with a shoulder issue. He is going to play this Sunday, as far as I know, but he's not 100% healthy. So if we can hit him a few times, maybe we knock him out the game, or maybe we put him into a position where he throws an interception or two. I'm cool with that. Let's go. But I feel like we have way too much talent and just too much energy to lose this game to the 49ers, especially when they are banged up as they are. And we got Caleb Williams and our boys on defense. We got Caleb, we got DJ, we got DeAndre, Rome Odunze out there doing his thing. Keenan Allen is the full go. He's going to be healthy. And we got the defense on point. We got Kyler Gordon out there getting it in. And, bro, we ready. We ready to go. We got Kevin Byard healthy. We are ready to rock and roll. So, Bears by 2 touchdowns at the minimum on Sunday afternoon. Excuse me. There's another thing going on with this game that is very interesting to me, and I didn't really realize this until I was listening to Bears talk on YouTube between ESPN and The Score and my fellow Bears content creator friends like Pat the Designer out there, and who works for the Windy City Breeze and also works for ESPN. We got my man Nick Rhodey from Just Another Year Chicago out there doing good work. My man Rashid from DW Productions out there doing good work. All these Bears content creators out there doing good work. The boys over there at Chicago Bears Central out there doing good work. The fact of the matter is that the Bears have not won a road game on Sunday since Matt Eberflus was named the coach of the team. Think about that, y'all. Think about that. Matt Eberflus never won a Sunday road game. The Bears have not won a road game on Sunday in the Eberflus era. Well, guess what, folks? The Eberflus era is over. And it's time for the Bears to go win a Sunday road game. And I believe that happens this Sunday in San Francisco, because Thomas Brown is that dude. And he's going to be the one that breaks the road curse. The Bears will win on the road on Sunday for the first time in 3 years this Sunday afternoon. It is happening. Book it. Put it down. So let's talk a little bit more about Thomas Brown, right? So he's the interim head coach now of the Chicago Bears. And a lot of people are wondering, will he have a legitimate chance to land the head coaching job once the season ends? Now, I've heard Courtney Cronin of ESPN say that it's unfair to label this an audition for Thomas Brown because he's not running his offense, his game plans. He's using other people's game plans because he's still using Shane Waldron's offense. He didn't get an entire offseason to train with this team and different things like that. But even though that stuff is true, and I agree with Courtney, make no mistake, reality is reality. And the reality of the situation is that this is still an audition for Thomas Brown, because as much as it pains me to say, there is a high probability that Thomas Brown will not be employed by the Chicago Bears come the beginning of next season. Because if they hire a brand new coach in here, Thomas Brown is going to be let go. He's going to be fired, or he, not really fired per se, but he's going to be let go. He's going to be let out of his contract, and he's going to end up in somebody else's team, probably as a head coach. So you can say that it's not an audition for him, but in reality, if the Bears don't bring him back, then the next 5 weeks are an audition for him for the other 31 teams in the league. So Thomas Brown needs to put his best foot forward here, even though I know he's not thinking about it, and kudos to him. But the reality is that in 5 weeks, he's going to be out of a job unless a miracle happens and he just crushes it. And the Bears decide, you know what? We don't need Ben Johnson. We don't need Mike Vrabel. We don't need to look at anybody else. we are locking it down with Thomas Brown, which will bring me joy because I want Thomas Brown to get the job. But I also want the Bears to do a full, thorough coaching search. But I'm telling you, in my heart, I really want Thomas Brown to be the man. But the probability is that that's not going to happen because history says that that's just not the case for interim head coaches. But this is a unique situation because Thomas Brown has a resume that is kind of impressive when it comes to an interim head coach. And Thomas Brown has something that no interim head coach has ever had. He had Caleb Williams. So, I don't think people will understand just how an advantage it is when you have one Caleb Williams. I mean, Caleb Williams made Matt Eberflus look good for a minute, okay? Even though Matt Eberflus couldn't get out of his own way because he couldn't make basic decisions to win the football game, Caleb Williams kept the Bears in practically almost every game this year besides the Arizona game. The Bears have been in every game. The last 6 losses have been by 1 score or less. Well, no, except for Arizona. But the last 6 losses, 5 of them were by 1 score or less. Oh, never mind. Arizona and New England. The last 4 games, the last 4 games have been by 1 score or less we lost, okay? I forgot about New England. That was the drubbing too. But Caleb Williams have kept the Bears in pretty much every game this season except for Arizona and the Patriots, right? So the Bears are in good hands with Caleb Williams. So it's not just, oh my God, Thomas Brown is the interim head coach. Thomas Brown is the interim head coach with Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams can make any coach look good. Well, any coach not named Matt Eberflus. So let's not discount the ability and the multiplier factor that is Caleb Williams. Now, you can pretty much say that of any coach. Caleb Williams can make any coach look good. That's probably true. But Thomas Brown is with him right now, currently coaching him. And for these next 5 games, you're going to have Thomas Brown and Caleb Williams working in tandem to beat the rest of the teams on their schedule. And he's going to make Thomas Brown look good because the players like him. Caleb likes him. So I'm pretty sure he's going to do whatever it takes to make Thomas Brown look good. No doubt in my mind. So this is an audition for Thomas Brown. I really hope that the Bears find a way to hire him because there's this other thought process that if somebody else comes in like a Ben Johnson or somebody else, that somehow the Bears will retain Thomas Brown. And I'm here to tell you, you're not operating in reality. If you think that's going to happen, you are not operating in reality. Why would Thomas Brown take a demotion? They promoted him twice in 17 days. So now at the end of the season, you're going to choose somebody else over him to be the head coach and ask him to come back and take a demotion? Hell no, absolutely not. He is not going to take a demotion, y'all. No. Actually, I take that back. There is one situation where he might take a demotion, and that is if somehow the Bears can trade. I know that's crazy. I made a video about that, so check out the video if you haven't. But if the Bears can trade for Sean McVay, that is the only way that you could possibly retain Thomas Brown because McVay and Brown have a close relationship. That is the only way I see Thomas Brown staying on his team if he is not head coach next year. But if you are naming somebody else head coach next year on the Bears and it's not Sean McVay or Thomas Brown is not going to be here next year. He's going to be gone because Thomas Brown is going to get more head coaching interviews once the season ends if he does how I think he's going to do. They're going to be lining up for a chance to interview him, and he's going to take one of those head coaching jobs because he's good enough to be a head coach. I haven't even seen him play a game yet or coach a game yet, and I can tell you, I know in my heart of hearts, he right now is good enough to be a head coach in this league, and he's going to be a head coach in this league. I don't know if y'all are aware of how good Sean McVay glows about Thomas Brown, but the whole league glows about that man. He's going to be a head coach. He is a rising star in the league. He is going to be a head coach sooner rather than later, but the Bears have a unique opportunity to give him that opportunity. But again, we do have to see how these next 5 games play out. But make no mistake, Thomas Brown is a dude. He's a stud, and he has some good things coming his way. But it all starts this Sunday in San Francisco, and I believe that Thomas Brown will get off to a good start, and he will win his first game as head coach this Sunday, 31-17 Bears. Lock that down. But Bears fans, let me know how you feel. How are you feeling about the current state of the Bears? Do you believe that they can beat the 49ers here, the banged up 49ers, this Sunday in San Francisco? Let me know in the comments. And I will be back here in a couple of days here with more videos and whatnot. I'll probably make some shorter videos on the weekend just to talk about more news if it comes out about the game and different things like that. And obviously after the game play, I'll probably have a short video talking about that real quick. But yeah, This is Bears Yard, baby. Make sure you subscribe for all things Chicago Bears, all things opinionated Bears talk right here on the Yard.